So we'll start in a nice traditional method of our Hatha yoga today, which is just a short seated meditation. So I like to sit on my heels, start stretching those ankles out. So it's classic yoga, right? Just kind of taking a moment here to become a little bit more present and mindful, self-aware. Okay, so shoulders back and down, sit up tall, start to relax and still the body. Start to tune into the subtle sensations of the body. And then connecting your awareness a layer deeper, the breath. First, before we activate the body, we observe it and become aware, feel it. Same with the breath. So before we do any breath work, observe it, connect to it with the conscious mind. Adding breath activation, slow inhale in your nose, slow exhale. Now bringing a lot more effort and tension into controlling the breath. Bringing the breath into the abdomen, ribs, and upper chest, so that three-part breathing. Maybe even adding a breath hold at the top and or bottom. So developing that space of retention in between the inhale and the exhale. And then the Om or the mantra, the vibrational body, the sound body. If you'll join me, big inhale, please. All right. Tabletop position, still kind of going classic here. Little cat-cow with the intention of just kind of increasing, let's just say energy today. You like the yogis say, bringing some energetic movement through the spinal column. Inhale and exhale, moving that spine via the breath. Maybe starting to go a little bit more circular. So it starts a little bit more like symmetrical and structure. I like to call that left brain, and then it gets a little bit more like dance and artistic, exploratory. I like to call that right brain. So kind of including both sides of the brain. After we increase a little bit of blood flow through our core, energy, downward dog. So inversion, this is like really classic yoga right here, okay? The structure of what we're doing. So first big inversion, so head drops below the heart now. Take a few moments to breathe and move, but then go into more breath work and a little bit more like subtle physical body refinement. So once you warm up via some movement, you kind of press your inner hands down. You just kind of notice your tendencies. Where do you kind of let weight go into? Work against that a little bit so you're not overstraining there. Try to straighten those elbows, roll the upper kind of tricep and shoulders kind of down and under. Let the head hang low, lift the sit bones up and back, and then go to your breath work. So another good 30, 45 seconds here. Bring some blood flow down to the major joints via movement. Down to the knees, top of the feet turn down. Inhale, right leg, left arm, go opposite, but don't arch your back. Exhale, knee, elbow. Inhale, exhale. Few more. If it's easy, you can do it in plank. If it's difficult, you can do it just the leg. You can also do this in like plank, like I said, right? You can basically do this if you want more. Second side, the standard is about 6 to 15 reps, depending on how you're feeling. Press your right foot down, inhale your left leg up, grip your left hand. Inhale and exhale. Continue, please. I know this exercise can get a little bit repetitive, but through repetition, we really get to gauge our progress. You get a clear, very practical view on your development of your balance, your strength, and insight how your joints. So via doing this regularly, you can tell the condition of your hips better. If we're always doing new things, particularly in the beginning of class, new things are a little bit more for like the middle or end of class. Because again, it's like a warm-up. We're not trying to necessarily like challenge everything. All right? When you're ready, slowly knee back down in our tabletop. A little bit different. Rise up onto your knees. Widen your knees. Cross your forearms. Lean a little left. Lean a little bit forward. Your hips go back. Lean a little bit right. Lean a little bit back. It's not like a super hyper range. Okay? I'm rounding, arching, laterally bending. So I'm getting my core really firing. I'm slowing down to feel all this. Okay? If it's too much, you can go hands on hips. And then you reverse directions. So we're back in our first one was the cat-cow. Now there's more weight and stiffness in a very complex, stabilizing movement. Last few. Eventually, down to your hands, downward facing dog. Second visit here. Watch what I do. Widen my feet. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, back to dog. A couple of those, please. Inhale into plank. Exhale into dog. Optional add-on. Inhale, high plank. Watch me here if you're new. Exhale, right hand toward left ankle. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, left hand toward right ankle. High plank. Right hand toward left ankle. High plank. Left hand toward right ankle. So as I shift back toward dog, eventually that opposite arm reaches for the opposite ankle. So across the body. You know, we just kind of did something like this, right? Couple more breaths. Down to the knees. Right foot steps forward. Blocks are a good idea. A little bit different today. Inhale, I'm going to descend the hips, lift the chest. Watch what I do. On the exhale, I'm going to bow the chest a little bit, press through the back top foot, and lift the back knee. Inhale, back knee down, chest lift. So it is a subtle movement for now. Exhale, chest down, use your hands, back knee lifts. We do eventually do this without the hands on the blocks or the floor, okay? And the arms kind of go back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last few. If it's too much, you know, we want to be careful that we don't avoid exercises that are difficult for our body always. If your muscles are weak, it's going to be difficult. You know, regardless of your preference, muscles are supposed to be strong. We know that muscular strength is associated with longevity, particularly of bone health. I mean, your heart's a muscle, muscular strength. Your digestive tract is muscularly guided, and your blood flow. Muscular health is key for a lifespan. And if a muscle can't contract well, by definition, it doesn't have function. So we want to remember that here, okay? Now go slow. We're basically just going to switch sides. So shake it out a little bit in between. Left foot steps forward. So again, I didn't say this, but you curl your right knee back a little. Inhale, lift the chest. That's like our cobra, right? We haven't gone there yet. It's basically the same posture. Exhale. Now instead of straightening my front leg, I just bring my chest down a little bit, elongate, press to the top of my back foot, and my back knee lifts. I'm working on shifting more weight into my legs. Initially, I kind of use my arms, but I work on taking a little weight out of the arms. With practice, hands aren't on the floor. The arms reach back and forward. Last few. I remember I said like 6 to 15. If you can get to 15 without much strain, you want to work on like slowing down and contracting more quality, intensely, and slower. You know, you tend to see people, when we do movement, we tend to move a little too fast. So try to notice where you move a little too fast, lacking self-awareness and muscular activation. Slow it down. Be a little clearer where you lack awareness. Last few. Little different, right? Doing that lunge with the back, top of the back foot down. So it's a nice little exercise, though, to start strengthening the plantar flexion line. Okay? When you're done, left foot steps back. Take a moment. If you need to cat-cow it, totally good there. Downward dog again. So, you know, you do these postures all the time. They're just little twists on them. Little kind of different things. Now, I'm just going to lift my heels in dog, kick my sit bones up and back. I'm going to drop my heels to the right, let my hips go to the right. I'm going to bring my heels back to center, lift those heels, drop my heels over to my left. And I'm just going to alternate a few times. Heels high to the right. Heels high to the left. A few more. So it is a lateral tilt. We're not in plank yet. We commonly do that in plank as well, but I want you to know there's a big difference. If I'm in down dog, letting my hips go to the right, it's a lateral movement. It is a side movement. If I'm in plank, it is a twisting movement. It is completely different how your spine moves. I want you to notice the difference. I tend to teach it in down dog, and everyone's in plank doing it. There is a very big difference. Okay, and I'm using this to get into your side body. So if you do the plank one, you didn't do a lateral flexion or lateral tilt yet. Okay, it's not wrong, it's just different. Go slow, down to your knees, please. Swing your legs around, come to seated position. So this is also like a cobra. It's not easy. Hands go behind you, fingers face forward. Your feet are a little bit wider than hips width distance. Okay, don't let your knees buckle in or out. Simply roll your shoulders back and down, lift your heart, press through your feet and hands, lift your hips forward and up, and then tap the butt down. Drive your hips up, tap your butt down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. few more. Take it slow. I like to like thrust up and then slowly lower down, just tap the butt, thrust back up. So if there is somewhere that's going to be faster, it's on the lift. All right, last few. Nice. And you're always welcome to obviously do one-legged, pulses, straight-legged. There's many forms of this back line activation. Easiest would be more like bridge, laying on your back, just doing the legs more. On a good day, you're going to add the arms. It's tough. All right. Big inhale, please. Down to your butt. Legs go forward. Inhale, arms high. Pause here. Engage your legs. Flex your feet. Lift your chest. Hold. Now, see if you can engage your thighs so much, it's almost like the back of your knees are flattening and your heels hover like a 1/4 inch. Yogis, I'm not going to do every exercise with you. I have 4 classes. I can't do everything, so don't move because I do. If I say hold, hold. I have 19 classes this week. I cannot do all of it with you. That's not healthy for me. All right, so I give a quick demo, and then you hold position. So it looks like this. You're holding, holding, holding. And then big inhale. Bend your knees a little bit. Hinge. Pull. Breathe. Go very slow. Sit up. Widen your feet. Yogi squat. So soles of your feet are down now, and your elbows are pushing open your knees. Don't forget you can roll up your mat or your blanket, put your heels on it. You can also sit on a block. Lift your heart, squeeze your pelvic floor. Right forearm in front of right knee. Don't let opposite knee buckle in. Left arm goes out and up. 3 breaths. You can do more, sometimes I like you to pause here. Sometimes we do half bind or full bind. It's not, you do what you need to do. Hands back toward prayer, left forearm in front of left shin. Inhale, right arm out and up. All the while, I'm lengthening my side bodies, rolling my shoulders back and down, squeezing my pelvic floor, pulling my abdomen in slightly. Big inhale. Yogi squat, back to your butt, legs forward. Second final round. It's called up table. We are going to hold now. Not easy on your wrist, but you know how you protect your wrist? By engaging your hands, your fingers. Hard to see on the screen maybe, but you can see I'm kind of engaging my fingers. Shoulders back and down. Let's lift our hips and let's breathe. Try to drop the head back. Lift the hips about as high as the knees and shoulders. Maybe you can drop your head back. Deep breathing, please. Big inhale. Slowly lower down. Left heel on the inner right thigh. Right leg opens up wide. You notice I turn the top of my foot down here. It's a little bit more challenging and advanced where it's almost like I'm rolling the top of my big toe down eventually. My right foot is out to the side. I flex the foot. My right hand goes down. My left arm goes up. So second big side body opener. A little bit more of a stretch from the upper aspect of the lateral body. I twist my chest open. I lengthen out through the arms and the spine. Relax my shoulders. Twist my chest up to the sky. Big inhale. Exit slowly, simply switching sides. Right foot in, left foot out. So this one's nice because we both get like what we call gracilis and adductor magnus. A lot of times when we do konasana or butterfly or straddle, you're kind of getting one of those groups bilaterally. That's a nice one to add in more often. We don't do this one that often here. Left forearm down or hand down to start. Right arm up and over, please. We just came from yogi squat where it was a little bit more of that transverse body, like these muscles crossing the body here, where now we're in the side. Again, okay? A few more breaths here. Just try to notice I'm rotating my chest up and open again. I'm not closing down just yet. Big inhale, please. Neutralize, legs in, yogi squat. So a little extra challenge here from yogi squat. We're gonna go into what's called toe balance. Classic yoga. My feet turn in a little bit more underneath my hips. My knees go forward, my upper body lifts more. So here's our front angle, from our side angle, I am here. Eventually in yoga we walk here. You stay low and walk, but that's pretty challenging, so maybe you stay here. Knees about as high as the hips, chest lifts higher. 3 more breaths. Big inhale, please. Little different, hands plant right down to the top of the feet. Big toes touch, knees can be slightly wide. I'm gonna lean back a little bit here on the tops of my feet. Now, maybe start by lifting one knee a few inches, pressing a little weight down into that foot. Maybe if you're up for it, both knees lift, leaning a little bit more weight to the tops of the feet. So a little bit more of this kind of top of the foot work, both stretch and strength. A few more breaths. So from the side, I know sometimes certain angles are kind of tough to see. I am either here or here. If you're doing one leg, please put that one leg down, lift your second. Sometimes, we have you prop your knees on blocks here, all right? Big inhale, please. Both shins down. Please shake your feet out a little bit. Now, we are going to do full range push-ups today. You might have to be on your knees for this. Going down all the way in a push-up is totally safe. I know American yoga, they say never go below 90 degrees. That makes sense in certain contexts, all right? But we want to make sure we're training our full body, because if you have to lay on your chest and get up and you never develop it, that's when it becomes more risky. We've done some good warm-up. So full push-up, listen. You're going to lower all the way down to your chest, relax. Then you're going to push all the way up, spread your back. You're going to lower all the way down to your chest and hips and relax. You're going to press all the way up. Please go slow and take a few more of the fullest range push-ups you can work. Yogis, you're going to get a lot more track tension if your arm elbows are wide and medially rotated. That's like the double tension. I'd rather go lateral and adduction here. You're going to get way more. You can do an experiment if you want. You can sit for a moment and do this, and you can feel how much more tension is here. That's a good way to get this all tight. I think most of us are tight enough there. So elbows hug in, and you're here, hands turn slightly out. Not out like that, just a little bit. You'd be surprised at that. Now it's all soft up here. Okay? Last few full range push-ups today. Go slow, please. Let's take it down to the chest. Now a pull. and a back body exercise where that's very front body dominant. Watch me if you're new. I want to keep my feet down, hips down. So press the big toe and the pubic bone down, engage your thighs. Watch me if you're new, yogis. Lift your heart and your chest. I'm going to hover my hands. I'm going to pull my elbows back, down, and together. And then I'm going to inhale my arms forward, palms face down. Exhale, pull my elbows back together. Lift my chest a little bit more, like an inch. Pull the belly and engage your legs. Inhale, arms forward. Exhale, literally try to touch your elbows down together behind you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. My legs are not lifted. Last few. It's very common to overstrain the neck, especially always looking up at the screen. You get this tendency of always looking this like one direction. Not good, yogis. You know, Zoom has presented us with these new kind of tendencies in yoga. So let's reflect on, notice how this is affecting us, all right? And be easy in certain areas. Take a little breather, lower down, please. So now more of a cobra stretch, more of a hold. If you'd rather do Sphinx, that's cool, or up dog, elbows hug in, shoulders back and down, neck long. So remember, cobra is feet and hips down, trying to activate my back body. Navel lifts in and up, heart lifts, 3 to 4 more breaths. Big inhale, and exhale, quick challenge. If you want to try it, forearms down, elbows hug under the body. Now, we did this earlier in lunge. I want to keep the top of my feet down. I didn't say the toes like this. It's the top of the foot, not just the toes. I got to tuck my chin, pull my belly in, lift the abdomen. I got to press through my feet, lift my thighs. My knees are still down. If I'm up for it, with the top of my feet down, I now hold a forearm plank. Don't let the butt go too high. Don't let again, it's like the top of your foot. That's the common thing I see. So the top of a foot plank. We won't be here too long. Last 3 to 4 breaths. Yeah, it's a lot of different stuff today, right? Today's a good day, to do some new stuff. I've been doing some classic practices. I mentioned some classic stuff in the beginning, and then we're in exploratory mode a little bit more. Down to your knees, please. Slowly rise up. Last thing here, it is a dynamic back bend, a tightening one, a stretchy one. If you'll watch me for a moment, 2 angles, right arm swings around, left hand goes behind. It is good to have blocks here. My right arm swings over to the left, I lift my hips. My right arm swings slowly forward. Remember we did something like this in the beginning? It's kind of a second round of that. Right hand behind, left arm swings forward and around. So it is a little dance. Second angle for demonstration, visual. A lot of us are visual learners. They say like 60% of people are visual learning dominant. Right up, so that means no matter what I say, it doesn't process well for some of us. Auditory, right? Right arm across the body. Hips down, right hand back, left arm across the body, hips lift. You see it? It's nice to have those blocks kind of right where the hands plant behind you. You can also just keep them in your hands, like this. You get more lift. You get more length. Last few, guys. Don't take this lightly. This is like flip dog, where you're going from like a lateral twisty bend into an extension. And a lot of the fitness programs, that's called like intermediate to advanced, or like high level intermediate. It's not really advanced, but it's close. Any dynamic extension in a compound action, like flip dog. I know that's taught in every yoga class, but it is very challenging, okay? So we came from that stiff plank, right? And those linear back bends and then forward bends. Then we did this crazy twisty movie thing, right? Downward dog, please. No rush. We're just one round, boom, 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 right through. Okay? Walk your feet to the front of your mat slowly. All right, no, go back to downward dog. All right, I'll make you go slow. Hands plant. Look at me here. Lift the heels. Walk your feet a quarter of the way forward. Pause. Lift your heels higher. Lift your sit bones up and back. Straighten your arms and your legs more. Walk another quarter of the way forward. Heels lift. Palms press down. Let your head hang low, please. Walk another quarter of the way forward. You are 3/4 of the way to your hands. You are lifting your heels, keeping weight into your hands, just like you do in dog. And then walk your hands, feet closer to your hands. Put your heels down, bend your knees, slowly rise up. Nice job there, guys. That's a tough one. I said slowly. I looked, everyone move fast. I had to slow you down there. Remind you how to do that slow. All right. I want to do a little bit more weight bearing in our legs. Even though we did some hip thrusts and some light lunge and some plank, still not that great of the leg bearing. Arms are going to go forward today. Weight into your heels, feet hips width distance. Chair. Breathe, yogis. 1 minute hold. Now, we did some movements and some stuff. Now I want you to do a little bit more discipline. All right, just close your eyes here. Shoulders back and down, arms are straight, just hold them parallel to the floor. Since your arms are forward, you can sit deeper in chair. You have better counterbalance ability. Your hips are about as high as your knees. Don't let your knees buckle in or out. Press your big toes down. Concentrate, yogis. See if you can meditate here. Do not let your chest hinge too forward. Yogis, did my chest change at all, really? A lot of you are here. It's a very bad habit to do unintentionally. Try to keep your chest upright more. I know, longest minute ever, right? I got you right on the second timer, right here. Last 7 seconds. That 1 minute chair, right? Woo. Stand up, give it a little release. Yeah, that'll get you. Chair. Now, a little bit different here, yogis. Arms go high. So a little bit of that traditional chair where you're up higher, bend your knees, and you try to keep a long spine between your arms and your sit bones. So now, second round of chair, arms up. 1 minute hold, please. Come on, commit to that chair. Concentrate on your breath. Calm your mind, close your eyes. Don't let your knees buckle in, okay? That valgus knee. Keep going. That's about 27 seconds. When that starts to really burn is when you're getting stronger. This is doable for all levels and difficult for all levels. Last 13, 12, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly stand. Give it a little release. It's kind of like a chair. It's a higher up one. Elbows hug in, palms face each other. You can do a gentle fist, knees bend. Shift your weight to your right foot, hover your left foot 1/4 inch. Nothing else really changes. Equal weight in big toe and right heel. Left leg goes out, hold. Left foot hovers an inch, neutral. Left leg goes out, hold, pull your belly in, lengthen your side bodies. Left foot hovers an inch. From the side, notice the leg goes out to the side only. It does not go forward. People who hinge here, when I said chair, don't hinge, or they'll have the tendency too to like hinge here and have their leg go more forward. I want that leg going out to the side. We are not alternating legs. We're doing 6 to 15 at most on that one leg. It never gets put down either. It's out, it pauses, it's down, it hovers. So we're getting our balance with some dynamic strength here. So we're not doing side plank today, right? We're doing some other side body type positions. Left foot down, knees bend, right foot hovers, or second side. It's kind of like a chair. Both knees are slightly bent. You're more than welcome to do it straight leg too, but that's going to be more challenging for your lower back and just for the inner thigh muscles and the hamstrings. So when in doubt, knees more bent. All right, so you can do it straight leg too if you want a little bit more challenge. Last few on this side, please. Go slow, yogis. Less kind of jerky motions. It's okay to use a little momentum in the end, but slow it down on the way down. It's kind of like I said earlier, I like to use the explosive movement for the concentric, and then I'll slow it down on the eccentric. That's like half moon today. We will not do half moon. So that's your half moon, all right? It's also like your side plank in a sense. It's just lateral flexion instead of like an anti-adduction. Or I'm sorry, it's an abduction. All right, now you might be feeling that around the lower back. So it's good to kind of just give it one of these, one of those. Medial squats. I don't do this as much. Remember, there is a difference between abduction, medial rotation, and valgus knee. I'm not going to go into details there, but I do want the feet a little closer together than normal, but not together. So about 6 feet, or you can do like a 2 fist measurement, right, between the kind of mound of your foot. So I am going to go arms forward again, so a little different. What I'm going to do is lift my heels a quarter, half inch, and then I'm going to knock my knees and thighs together. All right, so from the side, you're here, and all I'm going to do is lower down slowly. Do I hinge my chest forward? No. I lift up. I can separate my knees there. And then I bend a little, my knees and thighs not together. I bend down again, pause, and then I all the way up. Continue. It is a calf raise. So when I go up, my knees can separate and be neutral. But as I go down a little, my knees knock together and squeeze, and then my knees go forward. With practice, you can go more further down, but more range is not better. If you think that more range is always better, I would like to hear the logic. It all depends on intention and your objective. It is way more risky for injury to go fuller range, okay? You are way more likely to compensate, strain your lower back in more range, all right? To build strength faster, we actually say less range. Keep muscles contracted more, all right? When you're done with your one round of what we call medial squats, let's do lateral, but static. I open my feet wide. My feet turn open. My hands now go behind my head for my pec minor reciprocal inhibition. Shoulders back and down, elbows kind of lift lightly. Bend your knees. Do not let your knees buckle in, okay? I laterally bend, I pause. I feel my legs. I come back up. I laterally bend, I pause. I come back up. Just notice if you want the demo, see the curvature? Watch how I reduce compression just a little bit. I lengthen a little bit more, right? Back up. Try to get to 6 per side. If you're feeling excellent, maybe 12. You don't have to do a lot, yogis. Some days you got to recognize that you need to work on pushing yourself. There's certain people you see in yoga all the time. I'm not like trying to judge, but I'm just trying to expose objective awareness that sometimes it's hard for ourselves to see our own patterns. Some of us need to work on pushing a little bit stronger in the body. When it gets difficult, bringing that more mental practice in, not quitting as soon as the body's challenged. Some of us are really good at that and actually need to work on backing off a little bit. That's really tough for some of us. You know, to rest more. You know, oh, my muscles aren't tired, why would I rest? Well, it's a heightened level of self-compassion. You don't have to wait till your body's hurting to take a rest. Okay, it's a type of like a himsa practice. It's like resting before it gets too tough. Back up, please. Take a little moment here to kind of go like this. So you just kind of neutralize your feet, and I give you a little neutralizer there. I had something next, and now I'm forgetting. But I do remember what was after that. So that was lateral. You know, we did something like this. Arms go wide and up. Go slow, a little bend in the knees. Right hand toward left foot. It's a common like fitness move, right? They teach this for like kids for mobility, teach them to move their body. Toe taps. Take it slow. A lot of times we do all types of different exercises that can mimic this type of movement, but we do this one less in yoga, and it's really good. You are bending over and twisting. You're nice and warmed up. You just did a kind of strengthening lateral. Now it's a little bit more of like a releasing, twisting, bending over. Don't take it lightly, though. It is a big one. Last few, please. You see people doing this with like weights now. It's like the new thing. They will bend their arm, but they'll kind of go like this with the weight, and then they'll pull it back up. By the way, that is a very strenuous exercise to bend over with a weight, lengthen it across the transverse back body, and then pull it back up. That's tough, okay? So just mention that. Like I'll mention exercises, but then just kind of let you know that one's risky. All right, here we go. Back up. Now, pivoting of your hips. Bend your knees. Feet turn open. Feet turn open. So you could just start with your hands kind of here. It simply looks like this. I think we did this like a week or two ago. It's a nice one. Bend the knees. Now watch. I pivot left. My right toes turn on the ball of the foot. My right knee bends. I'm in a lunge facing my left leg. I actually like hug my thighs together. And then I slowly keep both knees bent. I turn back open to a double bent symmetry, abduction. I turn the back toe, the left toe in now, and I hug my thighs together, adduction. I'm scissoring together. I open back up. I close it back down. I pivot to the first. And you can even, yogis, twist a little to the left. I come back through neutral. I twist right in the pivoting of the hips, but then I also can twist across the body with my hands kind of, this is a good general place, just like a neutral here. Okay? And then you're doing it again with the breath. So it's inhale, exhale. This is true speed. I'm not doing it fast. Inhale, exhale. Last few. So it is another twist, right? But it's all upright. It's all like tighter and stronger. So my legs really never straighten right now. We just had them very straight. We're here. I get it. It's not easy to keep them bent, but you just do your best. No big deal. So, take your time. Back up to center. Give it one of these, a little high knee. Knee that after that. So we're here in the end of standing practice. We're going to go back to our lateral glute squat. Okay? Bend your knees. Hands go on your knees. It's a tough one. My right hand turns down and in. My right elbow kind of dips low. I push my knees open a little bit. As I let my chest come down now, I lengthen my side bodies, roll my traps back and down. I twist that core up open to the left. So static position after a couple of movements. Now with practice, right, you can start to go a lot deeper here with that opposite elbow. It actually kind of turns in. But don't force it. Last breath or two, try to feel it. Second side, inhale, lift your chest, keep your knees bent. Sorry, my little pup needed to go outside. She sprung up from a little nap and starts to go near the door. All right, get out of there, guys. Stand up. So that's all abduction stuff. Final little standing thing here, yogis. Stand up. Now cross your right ankle in front of your left. Inhale, hands on your hips. Lift your heart. Bend your front knee. Maybe have your blocks in front of you. And that's forward fold. So your ankles are crossed and you're forward folding, kind of reaching for the floor. Right? Please take your time, yogis. Stand up. Do your second side, crossing your opposite ankle in front. Make sure to bend your front knee, especially if you're tight here. All right, there's no reason to keep your knee locked straight. Oh, the pup's awake. There we go. Slowly, yogis. Let's stand up. No rush if you need another breath or two. How about we do one salutation? It's been a pretty weird class today. Weird yoga, right? How about we do something just to kind of neutralize in place we're familiar with? So you can step up to the front of your mat. Nice big inhale. Let's reach our arms high. And exhale. Let's take it down, forward bend. Inhale, we'll half lift. And then we'll take a vinyasa, try to run. But I'm kind of doing that traditional movement we all know and love. We'll meet back in down dog or a quick child pose if you need. Take your time, drop down to your knees or rise up to table, swing your legs around. Please come to a seated position. I'm just going to teach one little ab thing here. We are in the end of strong class, so we've had a pretty strong start. But if there is something else you prefer to do right now than this exercise, that's fine. We'll lower down to our back. It's been pretty asymmetrical, all that standing stuff. So I want to bring you a little bit more to like tightening the symmetry of the body. So this is called double crunch. Arms go forward, lower back presses down, hips hover, shoulders hover. Inhale, legs go forward. Exhale, legs come in. Inhale, tension. Exhale, contract. If you want more, legs up. The full one is where my legs come up and I little pop in the pelvis. If you want to do a twisted core exercise, you know, you can kind of do something like this where I turn the outer edges of the feet over to the left corner of my mat, center, little pop, over to the right. So you can do a little bit more of a leg swing, turning the toes in and out as you go down. You can also do more of a arm movement with a little twist. One abdominal stimulator of choice. When in doubt, stay with the basic symmetry. Last few moments here. When you're done, slowly release, feet on the floor. We're gonna windshield wipe our knees, so feet about mat's width distance. Knees bent, arms wide. I'll do the medial stretch. After a few rocks side to side, pause, knees to the left. Left foot might go in outer right knee, thigh area. Using that weight of the left leg to kind of work that right knee in and down more. Take 3 to 4 breaths here. Let's not hold that too long. Releasing that side, right knees to the right, and right ankle on top of left knee, please. As you can tell, we've switched gears a little bit. We are centering and grounding now. And if there's other stretches you want to do, that's always fine with me. I'm going to stick with lateral rotation or rotational stretches because we did a good amount of hamstrings. We did pretty good thighs too, right? We did some camel work, cobra work, the lean back with the heel lift, the shin lift. We did one more, thinking, the Anjaneyasana. So, we're pretty good in front and back body. I'm thinking rotational a little bit more, okay? When you're done there, slowly release. Quick happy baby might feel good here. Intermediate practitioners, more like a straight leg, or the plow, swinging the legs up over the body. Just be easy there. Breath for 3. And it's okay to switch it up at this point. If you feel like you need a certain release, by all means. All right? When you're done there, Gomukhasana. If you'd rather do figure 4, that's fine. Or if you want to sit up and do pigeon, or that's fine too. Right ankle on knee, or eventually you cross your thighs. You think like eagle or Gomukhasana, knees in. Just notice, yogis, my feet are not down by my glutes here. They're wide and my thighs are crossed. I try to roll my sacrum and head down more. I flex my feet. I pull the shins away from each other laterally. Okay, couple breaths. So obviously we are thinking release at this point, right? And depending on how your body feels is probably how long you decide to hold this, right? It is bilateral, which is nice if you're doing the Gomukhasana, so it's almost like you're doing both hips twice. I tend to find, even though it is a similar stretch, same category you could say, just like there's different hamstring stretches, this is a different lateral kind of flexion stretch. It does do something quite different than something like pigeon would, specifically if you can't get your shin parallel in pigeon. So if you do the angled pigeon like I do, Gomukhasana and figure 4 give you that stretch you don't get done as much if you always do your compression pigeon. So we'll do our second side, please. So what you do here, yogis, is you finish up your second side of your hip stretch. And then, it's common in yoga here to end with like a torso release. If you want to do like restorative bridge, that might be good. Get a little, push into your sacrum, your lower back. And then you could even do legs up. We didn't do much inversions.
full body inversions, right? Where the legs go up also, where the hips and the legs are above the heart. So if you want to do legs up the wall here, that's good. Or on a block, so you invert the pelvis, that's good. Shoulder stand or headstand might be nice. You could do a spinal twist. You could do restorative fish. And what I'm saying is you got about 2 minutes for like a final pose based on what you feel like you need. What I'd like you to do is close up your physical practice so we could do our closing meditation. And wow, looks like we'll end on time. All right, got about 5 minutes left in class. Nice, Brian. Yeah, and if you want to do one last big pose, by all means, hey. In about a minute and a half, we'll start closing meditation. All right, yogis, if you're in like a supported posture, so some days, you can keep a block under you for Shavasana. Most days you might, you did enough physical work. So maybe, respecting that idea of calming the mind and body now, can you give it a break fully? And traditionally in yoga here, we might just lay on our back, close our eyes, and do absolutely nothing. My morning class this morning, there was a newer gentleman in class and he was breathing like really loud and aggressive in Shavasana. That is not a Shavasana practice, okay? Active breath work happens more out throughout the class, but here we actually are giving the lungs a rest because they're working all class. Breathing is muscular. We want to rest our muscles and our eyes. Okay. And I know you're working to keep that mouth sealed and tongue at the top of your mouth, so you can also release your tongue and your jaw. And you just let everything kind of get heavy. You feel this kind of big full body release start to occur. And then you just let go. The word that we practice, the idea that we practice in Shavasana is surrender. Whereas most of the practice is control. We balance that energy with the surrenders. Okay, so final relaxation, about 3 minutes.